I say? Breathe, then drink. Take that breath, family. Come on now. Now get your glass for that water. Get your container for the water. Lift that container of that water. Hopefully it's copper. Lift it for some water. Drink. Or should I say, lift, pour, then drink. Man, whoa. Hey, move your body and drink some water. What? Move your body and drink some water. Come on, you should have been stressed already. Move your body and drink some water, family. Come on. Move your body. Drink. Or should we say, move, then drink. Send out the black signal now. Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors. What? Raise your glass and toast your ancestors, huh? Raise your glass and toast your ancestors, fam. Just raise your glass. Drink. Or should I say, raise, toast, then drink. Take your breath and drink some water. Lift and pour yourself some water. Move your body, drink some water. Raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Breathe, live, move, toast. Remember the keys to health of Gye-Nyame, family. Breathe, eat, move. Shit. But hey, take your breath. Lift and pour. Move your body. I see you, shorty. Raise your glass. Toast your ancestors and drink up. Messed up in the middle of the song. It's important that we remember that part of the reason we get up and do this is not only for lineage therapy but personal therapy as well. What do I mean? Brother Hatim constantly talks about, in the Gye-Nyame system, we talk about the 4 pillars of health. 1, breathing. A lot of diseases that we have, a lot of things that are afflicting us is simply because we're not breathing right. When you are living in a stress situation, you tend not to breathe properly. Family, what I am asking each and every member of our tribe to do is to make sure that you are taking your breaths consciously. Deep, all the way down to your nose, pulling it into your belly. Do that a couple of times a day. Family, you will be surprised how many of the ailments we have come from us not getting the proper amount of oxygen into our system and not being able to retain the air long enough so that it can do what it needs to do. The oxygen as well as the carbon dioxide, because as we breathe in, we produce carbon dioxide. That carbon dioxide does things for our body just like the oxygen does, and then we are able to release it. Release all those poisons, breathe it out. The next thing, the next most important thing, and remember both of these is before food, water. Make sure you are drinking the proper amount of water every day. What is the proper amount of water, Brother Hatem? Half your weight in ounces. So if you weigh 100 pounds, you should be drinking 50 ounces of water every day. Not all at once, all throughout the day. Because a lot of the ailments come from not only us not breathing right, but then we add the catastrophe of us not drinking the purest thing on this planet, the thing that is 70% of our body, water. Family, we are overworking our bodies because we replace water with coffee, we replace it with pop, and your body has to extend energy and other resources to extract the water out when you could just give your body water. I'm not telling you to stop drinking coffee because I love my coffee. You know what I'm saying? I'm not telling you stop drinking your teas or even some of your sugar drinks. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is add to your regimen the proper amount of water. We can't pour libations for our ancestors if we are not taking care of ourselves. Now, libations mean not only what we pour out, but also what we pour in. So we are in a sense saluting our ancestors by taking care of our health. The next is eating a culturally appropriate diet. I know y'all like y'all pizzas, y'all spaghetti, y'all meats and all that. Brother Hatem is not saying cut all that out. What I'm saying is look into a culturally appropriate diet. Okay? Look into a culturally appropriate diet. I suggest that each of you, listen to me, each of you take some time and look up the African heritage diet, right? We are of African heritage, so we need to start adding some of the foods, some of those foods to our diet, some of those oils to our diet, some of those things to our diet so that we can live a long, healthy life and serve out the purpose of our ancestors, what we chose to come here for. Shouts out to Ryder Daily, truest form of communication. We are what we eat. There we go. He said it, I didn't. Family, you know what I'm saying? So when you look at your diet, you see who you are. All right? Now, last one is movement. Make sure in some form or fashion you're moving. If you have a desk job, instead of making that call, get up and walk to the person's cubicle or to the person's office so that you can have a direct contact with them. You're moving your body. Get up and stretch. That's why I say move and I demonstrate the stretch. Make sure that when you wake up, you're doing a nice stretch, right? You're doing a nice stretch. You know what I'm saying? You loosening up because as our flexibility start to deteriorate, so do our body. I'm saying remove it out consciously. Research first and learn about herbs. I agree with you. But the fact that I'm coming at is that a lot of people are not going to do that. Now, we could present the options for them. You know what I'm saying? But we can't sit up here and tell them what they should do. What we have to do is model what it is and how it works for us. And by you modeling, they'll be like, damn, he's glowing. He looks good. I'm a woman, and you used to my mentor's brother Hatem, and you uses to be my mentor, brother Hatem. Shots out, Ryder Daily. So we touch people and we don't even know it. But family, what I want to do now is do some more house cleaning before we get into the toast and then into our discussion. Because family, I just saw War of the Planet of the Apes. My mother is Jeanette T. Hayes. Okay. All right. Now, and I want to send shots out to all the new subscribers to Gye-Nyame on our Gye-Nyame on YouTube. Now, check this out. A lot of these people I met up at the ADOS conference, and I'm grateful. And a lot of people came on because of some of the work that we've been doing. Rites of passage. That's right. And that's what we focus on here too. And I'm going to get to that in a second. But I want to send shots out to Jerome Duffy, Fireset Chat, also known as Mama D, Jeremiah Wins, Neil Ferris Zinks, Cosmic Thought, Magnolia, Mississippi, Kelly D. Cunningham, Reparations Now, Brindle Randall, Melanation, X Unity, YTOJ, Red, Black, and Green, Albert Hale 3, Ms. Virgo 66, Night Rider, or Night Ride, Dale Pinder, McKnight, Daryl Pinder, McKnight Levon, Naturally Out, Renee Jolly. Shouts out to all those new subscribers. Thank you for giving us an opportunity at Gye-Nyame Journey to be of service to you. Hopefully I'm giving you information that will help you move and grow. So now I could close this piece because that's what I wanted to do with that. So now we got enough room for what we need to do. Once again, I want to send shots out to Ryder Daly. She's up here. Shots out to Christopher B. Apple. One love, brother. Let's build. We got Shorty out there right now. Shots out. I'm surprised this many people are free enough to watch. Now, family, to keep up with us. Now, I don't send out texts for the usual daily toaster. I got a separate list for that. So if you want that, you got to request that directly because those texts go out very early. But if you look up here in the corner, say join the black signal, text G&J to 25456. What that allows us to do is to get in touch with you regardless of what's going on with YouTube or my Spreaker channel or whatever. So when I'm doing the major broadcast, the evening broadcast, you understand, it allows me to keep up with you. And also I'll be sending out something to get emails and stuff like that so we can make sure we are staying in communication. Family, one of the things that happened to our community, I believe, is that the communication was cut. Now, we have all of these medias out here right now that are trying, we are able to get in touch with you, right? So, boom, let's use them. This internet thing is the new weapon. And I want y'all to be well versed in them and know how to use them so that we can move to the next level of this struggle. Not only talking about reparations, but also talking about restoring ourselves and doing the lineage therapy that we need so that we can operate in the proper fashion right here in America. You know what I'm saying? And as we spread, because like I said, once reparations come, because they are coming, once reparations come, many of us will be traveling, right? So, my fault, I forgot. I got to do what we do here. First off, family, I want to welcome you. Welcome to the congregation of the mighty, the home of the stubborn minority. I hope that that's my stubborn look. The place where your hustle builds muscle. This is Gye-Nyame Journey Media. I'm your host, Brother Hatim, and this is Umoja Toast&Talk. Now, this is rare, right? Because usually I would be this show would have been done by about 6 o'clock, 6:15, 6:30, somewhere around there. But since I'm at home, because I got some stuff to finish up, and I took this time off because I thought because I got my tickets for the ADOS conference early, and I thought they were still building the agenda, so I thought we was gonna be there until Imani. And I got there's a lot of stuff I got to explain, but there's a lot of stuff that you could get, and I'm gonna tell you how to get it. Of course, this is a Heart of a Simple production. Where we strive to blow up your old paradigm. Got to blow up those old paradigms. They part of what's holding us hostage. Now, family, let me go and let you know, those of you that have subscribed to the YouTube channel, you have been put into a competition, right? Because we have some free stuff that's going out to the family, right? We have merch that we'll be giving out. The first person to reach 1,000. How do you reach 1,000 points? Donations. Commenting like some of y'all are doing right now on the Restreamio. You get 10 points automatically when you subscribe to the channel, and the stuff will, once somebody hit 1,000, all I gotta do is push a button and the merch will be sent out immediately. Now, I'm not sending it out to the Restreamio chat bot because they be cheating. You know what I'm saying? They already at about 300 points. So family, stay in tune with us, because we're gonna have some more giveaways, and a lot of that is gonna be generated on the G&J on our black signal, what we call the black signal. All right. We have another message. We have Ryder Daily, yep, and I feel the black Americans will never see reparations because our reparations are not physical, it's spiritual. We take our minds back from, let me go on down here. Hold on. We take our minds back from those in power and we will, it stops right there. Let me see if I can find it over here. Those in power, hold on, we take our minds back from those in power and we will see our greatest potential. Now, Ryder Daily, let me say this to you. This is why I constantly talk about the stubborn minority, right? You have a small minority of us that are here pushing for reparations. And we are going to get those. Now let me explain what's going on here, right? And we have to, even if you believe that we're not going to get it, we have to demand it. Why? Because we're talking about lineage therapy. There is something that is owed to you by this country for the persecution, for the limiting of rights, for the lynchings, for the rapes, for slavery, for Jim Crow, for you not having access to what you should have in the richest country in the world. And it is not, how can I put it? It is our responsibility to demand that stuff, if not for ourselves, for our children. We have to lift up the banner and we have to fight this battle. You understand what I'm saying? We have to prepare for it. And we have to start getting our minds right and get out of what is not about them giving. It's about us taking. It's about us taking control of the political process wherever we live so that eventually we will be able to get what is owed to us. We're not asking nobody to give. When you owe money, they're not asking you to give. They're asking you to pay back. You know what I'm saying? And they demand it, and if they don't, they take it to courts. And then you got some of those out there that if you don't get their money back, it's some more severe consequences. The stubborn minority here, right? Those ADOS that's out here right now, boom. It's like, yo, you gonna pay what you owe. You gonna pay what you owe. We gonna bring this whole motherfucker to a standstill until they do, because it's a necessity so that we could really start making the repairs. Because reparations is deeper than a check. Reparations is about a radical change of the system. Because understand, we have been segmented to a servant population, a service-oriented population, to as they call it in the planet of the apes, to donkeys, where we are carrying the weight of white supremacy. We are carrying the weapons. We have been reduced to donkeys, and now it's time for us to be like, I'm done with that. And you need to be done with that too. Because there is a certain amount of money that is owed to you for your family struggle here. Especially if you are on ADOS. What that means is American descendants of slavery. Your ancestors, you could trace your ancestors back to, as they call them, the killing fields. The whipping machine that built the initial wealth that allowed this country to catapult itself into the Industrial Revolution. Man, that felt good. It felt good. You know what I'm saying? Now, like I said, but people are allowed to believe like they believe, and that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, hopefully you can still tune in. If not, family, I love you. Regardless, I love you. You know what I'm saying? Because we all got different views here. All right, family. So one of the things you can do to help support this media piece, because media is one of the institutions that we have to take control of, right? What is media? Media is a sense the part of our community that broadcasts or communicates information and news. Basically, information that shatters how you believe. You understand what I'm saying? Shatters the old way of believing. It's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? So, I want to thank all of y'all for tuning in. And here we go. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, cool. Commercials. I got to do my commercials. First off, family, if you would, check out our 7-day e-course so you understand why I'm saying Umoja. Like today is Umoja. You know what I'm saying? Understand the side links that I have, as far as ADOS, as far as 224 self-help process, as far as 21 day and Guza Saba challenge, as far as congregation of the mighty, all the language that we use in Gye-Nyame journey, because as the sister said earlier, our focus is rites of passage. And we got to understand what this rites of passage does. What do rites of passage do? It helps pass on information from generation to generation. And the information is used to build up that culture. Right now, the information that we have been allowed to be passed on from generation to generation for like the last 50 years has not been to our benefit. It's time for us to update, and it's time for us to move differently. And this is what we're striving to do with Gye-Nyame Journey. And like I said, we have a free e-course. You can check out our free e-course. Let me go on and post it up. And they'd be like, Brother Hot Tim, you got a lot of commercials. Well, shit, all this stuff costs Brother Hot Tim some dough. Every time I post up, it costs me some dough. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, I need y'all to invest in me like I'm investing in you. Boom. Check out the free e-course. There you go. Also, if you go to Gye-Nyame Journey, GNJmedia.live, you can also check out some of our merchandise. Like I said, a lot of this money is what we're striving to do is, oh snap, I messed up. Let me go back a little bit. I need to go back. Let me go back. Where is it at? Where is it at? There it go. I need to go back. I'm sorry, family. Give me a second, because I want to make sure the people that may be listening to us on Spreaker can also get the same information that I'm posting up for y'all. Because that's the Spreaker piece is one of the major things for us, because Spreaker allows us to has been allowing us to continue broadcasting for a long time. Now, going back to the speech about going back to talking points about the merch. You can check out our merch. Now, what I have on right now, I'm modeling the black on black. This is the Gye-Nyame Journey Media shirt. Our symbol is the phoenix, right? Rising from the ashes. You understand what I'm saying? We got a whole mythology behind this whole phoenix piece. G&J Media, and if you could, right here it says Cat N. Cat N stands for our thing. This is our thing. Right? So we have to make sure that we are able to maintain our thing, and we do that through the rites of passage by passing on the information, the stories, and the lessons on to each generation, right? And allowing people to progress and show the progression. So we also have the Metu Netter on here, all right, as well. So go and check out the merch, check out the free e-course. Let me go and share that on Spreaker real quick. You know, you don't want the Spreaker fam to be left out. Boom. And also, we are broadcasting on Spreaker. You can look us up, Gye-Nyame Journey Media on Spreaker. Gye-Nyame Journey Media on Spreaker. We are live right now on YouTube. Gye-Nyame Journey or Gye-Nyame Journey Media. Look it up. It'll pop up. As well as you go straight to GNJmedia.live. And we always broadcasting on there. All right, so let's get on with the toast. For those that are not familiar with what we do here is that we toast our personal ancestors on a daily basis. Family, by all means, feel free to send in your ancestors. Like when you join the Black Signal, that's a two-way thing. You could text me. You could text it in, or you could join us. You could comment on the video. It'll pop up with the name of your ancestor. You can also hit us up and follow us on Facebook. Join Gye-Nyame Journey on Facebook, Gye-Nyame Journey Media. You go to that and you can inbox us, you know what I'm saying, and get your ancestors' names on the list, because we read this list and we salute our ancestors on a daily basis. Kwanzaa is coming up, so I am right now raising money to make sure that we are able to get our ancestor list on the Kwanzaa, in the Kwanzaa book. Last year we had 2 pages. This year, far as the daily toast, we're moving towards 3 pages. And we pay about $100 per page. So, like I said, support. There's a tip jar. If you go to gnjmedia.live, you can click tip and let us know. And it'll pop up in the glass while we sitting right here. And we could grow, family. Shit, let's go. Because what we need people that can be free enough to really talk about our issues. Yesterday we had a show and we was talking about collecting the data, and one of the things that will be going out over the Black Signal as well as the other platforms that we have, we will be building up an anonymous survey. You don't have to put your name, you know what I'm saying? But what we want to start doing is collecting the information so that we know the numbers for our tribe. You know what I'm saying? How do we fit in with the numbers that Antonio Moore is pointing out for us? You know what I'm saying? How many of us have over $1,700 of wealth or have below $1,700 of wealth available to? I'm talking liquid. You know what I'm saying? What would we consider our value or the amount of wealth do we have? What is our salaries? You know what I'm saying? Do we own homes or are we renting? Have we noticed that if we're renting, have we noticed a significant increase in the amount of rent? You know what I'm saying? Because we need to be looking at this time. How much education do the members of our tribe have? You know what I'm saying? Are you straddled by college debt? We need to be asking these questions so that we know how to address, at least in Columbus, address the politicians that are asking for our votes. And this information will be available to all those in our family, regardless of where you are, so that you can be like, well, hell, in through Gye-Nyame Journey, they got 10%, they got 40% from Columbus, and then 30% from here, and 10% from here. You know what I'm saying? They little survey, they found out that, boom, a majority of us have less than $1,700 worth of wealth. So the numbers stand true. We need to be able to know exactly how these numbers are affecting us. Because according to the numbers, according to the trend that's being set by the numbers, family, we will be wealthless by 2053. That's in many of our lifetimes. I might be close to 100. But some of y'all out there, you're going to be hit by this. Right? So I threw up the commercials so I could go and let those go. I could let them go. Boom. Boom. I'm trying to clear up this so I can have more signal going out for the broadcast. So, all right. So keep the comments coming. All right, what's next? So now we're about to pour these libations. For those that don't know, Brother Hatim, we have a drink available in Columbus. We call it that ambrosia, the drink of the gods, right? Basically what it is a kombucha, but the actual name of it is Jun or June. It is made with a symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast. Very healthy drink, but rather than using like kombucha, black tea, and green black tea and sugar, we use green tea and raw sugar. We allow this process to take place. We allow it to ferment, and in the fermentation, a lot of the nutrition is released. A lot of the properties are pre-digested so that your body can absorb whatever's in it immediately. You understand what I'm saying? It breaks it down. And this shouldn't even take the place of water. You know what I'm saying? And I am willing to teach other members of the family how to make it as well. You know what I'm saying? Help give you the starter culture and all that. You know what I'm saying? Because I honestly believe that this is one of those cottage industries. This is one of those staples that we could start developing in our community. Because like I said, we only a couple of years away from being able to own land with water, where we could get our own pure water, have our own beehives to collect our honey, and eventually maybe even grow our own tea. You know what I'm saying? So we can control this industry from the bottom to the top. Or better yet, contract with some of the countries, you know what I'm saying? Some of those countries that are in line with what we're doing to get some of that tea in. Those that are in support of reparations. So anyway, right now what I'm going to drink is, I had some tea sitting downstairs, brewing, And the process that we use is a totally cold process. What do you mean, Brother Hatem? I don't apply any heat to the tea. I allow the tea to do like sun tea, sit and just brew, right? And then so I can extract all of the stuff. This is the green tea that I'm using. I use 5 different green teas in it. And man, right now what we're going to do right here on the journey is we are going to test the tea that we'll be making the next batch. No sugar, just straight tea. All right, so let's get to the toast. All right, we raise up a glass and we toast the creator by whatever name you choose to call it, creator, from whatever tradition you may come from. We raise up our glass and we salute their creator, and with that we say Ashe. From there, family, where do we go? Where do we go, Brother Hatem? Where do you go? This is where we go. We move straight in and we start toasting our personal ancestors. Now, this is why we create this show, because one of the things I noticed in a lot of the circles that I go to, that when it came to toasting ancestors, we was big on the popular and the world famous names, but when it came to toasting those ones that were directly and affecting our life, those ones that are in a sense on the other side working for us, right? Trying to get us to be like demand what belongs to us, to get our shit back, we wasn't paying that much attention to. You know, that would be real quick. Get a couple of names. And I'm challenging people to go back and start looking up your ancestors and look at some of the stuff that they had achieved, because they achieved the impossible. The impossible. You know what I'm saying? And they made it possible so that we could be here and we could take the movement to another level. The movement never stops. You know what I'm saying? It's just some of the obstacles change. And now, in toasting our ancestors, we need to harness their power and their wisdom so we can knock the blocks out the way so that our children will be able to go and continue this struggle, continue this life, continue moving on, right? Without all of the hindrances that we have, right? So our job, in a sense, our lives don't belong to ourselves. Our lives belong to our people and to the future of our people. We got to strive for that. All right, so we raise up our glass to those ancestors, and I'm about to read the names. We have, I don't even know how many names. So family, those of you that are new, send in your ancestors, and you can toast with us when you can. We have a hardcore crew that are that every day, you know what I'm saying, in some form or fashion, somebody's representing. So we got Miles Brown, Ms. Ann, Robert and Texana Davis, Herman Brown Sr., Rosalie Tilly, George and William Walter, Christopher Fanny Gasson, Adelina, Uncle Chris, Aunt Fiend, Cleveland and Geneva Brown, Margaret Ellis, Wash Ellis, Cecil Ellis, Alvaro Brown, Gina Gaines, Herman Brown II, Barbara Twiggs, Wash Ellis Jr., Katie Ellis, Nikki Ellis, Jamon Jones, Jeremiah Tappan, John Flora, Montague Pittman, Normal X, Sapet Ma Ra, Malika Fakour, Dr. Marianne Williams, Kojo Kamal, Elder Millie Dixon, Tony Clark, Pastor Yusuf Weston, Elder Ajani, Ron Coleman, Elder Robert Donaldson, Alfred Bropro, Hector Jr., Jay Edwards, Carla Harris, Grace Lundy, Inez Harris, William Bill Barnes, Phyllis Rose, Sterling and Lucy Wright, Dale Pulling, the Luxter Brothers, Ms. Eda Brooks Crawley, Miss Marie Nelson, Mr. Frederick Crawley Sr., Miss Jerry Brunson, Mr. Alonzo Johnson, Miss Marie McDowell, Janice Foster, Charles Jordan, Kel Smith, Walter Smith, Richard Triggs, Francis Johnson, Mary Franklin, Jimmy Williams, Daniel Ford, George Gibson, Nana Loretta Clark, Inez McCrae, Fritz Clark, Frankie Justice, Katie Justice, Derek Rinderman, Virginia Rogers, Reverend James Smith, Lois Henderson, Calvin Spratling, Mary Elizabeth Walker, Rain Walker Sr., Sarah Jane Carter, Michael Ford Jr., Kellen D. Russell, Susie B. Smith, Teresa Clay, Melvin Dale Hodge, Melvin Dale Hodge Jr., Herman Copeland, Mildred Copeland, Jenny Clay, Bert Beatty, Sarah Weller, Be the Farmer, Agoso Sue, Cheryl Harvey, Aunt Charmaine, Aunt Evelyn, Theolis Hasbury, Harvey Hansberry Sr., Leonard Dickinson, T.C. Islam, Terrell Dunbar, Will Thomas, Sarah Berry, Mark Walsh, Merle B. Thornton, Pearl G. Thornton, Ida Johnson, Florence M. Carter, Joanne Thornton, Erica Tricia Lewis, Juanita Wright, Robert Wright, George Wright, Mary Eliza Frederick Davis, Mary Elizabeth Rogers, Mary Esther Keachler Reese, Linda Watson Hammonds, Jarrell Giles Watson, Sparrow, Slimmy, Selvin Lewis, Andrew Holmes, Pearl Moore, Percy Moore Jr., Mildred Orange, Booker T. Bowden, Charlie Hunt, Sammy Stover, Hilda Pearson, Sturgeon Thornton, Richard Thornton, Lavinia Hall, Freeman Bankster, Mae Moss, Sophia Peacock, Willie Thornton, Napoleon Kennedy, Mark Ramsey, Paul Ramsey, Matt Ramsey, David Ramsey, Charles E. Thornton, Frankie Quells, Urania Thornton, Bernice Quells, Ernestine Jackson, Frankie Johnson, Teresa Mormon, Leon Johnson, Charles Bell, Vivian Ramsey, S.E. Johnson, Derrida Johnson, Leon Johnson, James W. West Sr., James Parham, Dana Jones, Henry World, James Farmer, Mary Chavez, Leon Grace, Bessie Johnson, Hannah Levester, Mary Moreland, Paul Moreland, Elder Caleb, Rosemary Martineer, Elder Amatep Wellman, Fred Douglas Trigg Sr., Thelma Triggs, Thomas and Lula Berry, Lacey and Eleanor Howe, Frank and Russell and Davis, Fred Douglas Triggs II, Vena Triggs, Reverend Eddie Moore, Helen Fuller, Eugene Jackson Sr., Richard Ellis, Silas Alexander, Charles Maxwell, Percy Van Alexander, Arthur Reynolds, Stanley Lockhart, Ricky Lockhart, William Lockhart, Woodrow Lockhart, Brenda Porter, Deacon Hargrove, Carla Sawyer, Andrew Parker, Doris Donald, Ellis Murphy, D'Amico Russell, Denimon Aries, Gina Rose Jones, Jana Callahan. Make sure I ain't missing nothing on Facebook real quick. Alright, cool. Let me go back. Save. Alright. Oh, messed up. Hold on, family. I'm going to continue in a second. I want to make sure we get everything that we need to set up. Alright, so we're going to stream on 21 and Guza Saba Challenge. I'm going to eventually end up taking some of these pages down so that we can funnel everybody into Gye-Nyame Journey. Alright, let's even do Hot Town. Boom. Alright, so we streaming on all these platforms. Let me go back to post. There we go. Alright. Next list. William Walter West, Nigella Paris, Elder Basiji Falani, Jim Robinson, Gladys Johnson, Valerie Clark, John Mary Sullivan, Dirk Johnson, Antonio Johnson, Delise Waters, DePretis Hines, Inez Bostic, Edna Bostic, Winifred Scantleberry, Wilson Haley, Emma Hines, Phyllis Lee, Eugene Spratling, Calvin Spratling, Charles Wooden, Penny Brown, Roy Lee Printup Jr., Miriam Johnson, Wilbur Longmire, Either Catney, Janice Carter, Michael Carter, Leon Pina Carter, Margaret Carter, William Carter, Lisa Jordan, Charles Lee Mosley, Dorothy R. Blair, Ransom Evans Sr., Sam Evans Sr., Nalon Blair Sr., Edward Stevens, Sue Ann Stevens, Joe Davis, Timothy Butler, Gene Holmes, Dana Jones, Peter Charles, Christy Nichols, Cardinal Robinson, Rosemary Charles, Ada Pearl, Bob Ingalls, Jack Wallace, Warren M. Finch, Warren P. Finch, Tim Ingalls, Audrey Finch, William Billingsley Jr., Jennifer Sensabaugh, Hazel Gasson, Jerry Brantley, Brian Watson Jr., Kaniko Parsons, Jason Kathy Bradford, Thomas Bradley, also known as Akabuki, also known as Gypsy, Reverend Roosevelt Word I, Stacey Trice, Frank Smith, Mother Bertha, Michael Leonard, David Brown, Ruth Carter, June Cox, Ruth Cox, Paula Cox, Ronald Irvin, Judy Hubbard, Irene Johnson, Francis Booth Jefferson, Dan Wilkinson Sr., Emmy McClendon, Jerry Doyle, Amina Robinson, Mary Nichols, Patricia Williams, Shabaka Teray, Greg G2 Gibson, Donald Hill, Richard Gleavis, Lee Irby, Tommy Irby, Boy Irby, Jim Gaucher, George and Hallie Johnson, Archie Margaret Armstead, Diane Scott, Erica Armstrong, Claire Fox, Gene Evans, Archie Beck, Anna McGill, Charles McDaniel, Christine Cottrell, Becca, Alice Arnold, Arthur Arnold, Hattie Reed, Charles Reed, Ewan and Andrew Baker, Patricia and Edwin Brooks, Gwendolyn and Bob Hatch, Kimball Vernon, Bradley Kim, Janie Harry, Tommy Kate, Spencer Sturgis, Sally Mae Baker, Ethel Baker, Creola Baker, Geneva Baker, Aaron, Nino Baby Hatch, Hatch Sr., Mally Miller, Housie Hatch, Dad Cleveland, Mother Gibson, Alex Nixon, John Bowie, Lester and Rachel Saunders, Dorita Ross, Viola Ross, Robert Nelson, Francis Stevenson, Leroy Stokes, Lady Johnson, Fletcher Swan, Maddie and Charlie Scott, Ida Casey, Thomas Coper, Vivian Stevenson, Mona Ann Lewis, Cornetta Lyman Lewis, John Jackson, William Dallas Lewis, Mary Francis, Chappelle Jackson, Michael Slade, Joanne Perkins, Richard Jackson, Martha Ford Dawson, Big Mama, Nanny Harris, Eva Ford, James Harrison, Margaret Towns, Mary Williams, Leroy Q. Heap Sr., Albert Moore, Miss Vanilla, Albert Motley, Geraldine Elizabeth, Douglas Thompson, Arlington Houston, Lud Alls, Elijah Alls, Jerome Alls, Henry West Staten, Joe Jamel Alls, Ann Pierce, Donald Carter, Lily Green, Nathan Green, Beth Bond, John Dewey, Ruth Beard, Tim Butler, Remy Laura Newton, J.B. Foggy, Thomas Newton Sr., Baba Naeem, Jeanette Sanders, Jerry C. Sanders, Roy Pruitt, H.J. Brantley Sr., Henry Wilson, Rufus Jenkins, Minnie Wilson, Catherine Sanders, Muriel Ellis, Elizabeth Sanders, Henrietta Irby, Mildred Armstead, Margaret Armstead, Catherine Anthony, Ruby Brown, Charles Walker Sr., Charlie Walker, Cecil Russell, Don Urban, Haroon Phillips, William Ford, Margaret Logan, Phyllis Barnett, Lee Irvin Sr., Michael Urban, Ozella Watson, Hugo Watson, John Caldwell Sr., Robbie Lee Caldwell, Nevaeh Mitchell, Ron McCormick Sr., Sabrina Easley, Rayshawn Easley, Javea McCormick, Barbara Ann Reed, Dorothy Ann Reed, John Reed, Chekamaha Reed Jr., John Reed Jr., Patricia Reed, Edward R. Benson Sr., Ethel H. McNair, Lois Fernandez, Jacqueline Broadus, Reginald Oliver, Mazarine Cofer, George Swan, Edmonia Grayson, Charles Scott, Charles H. Scott, Michael Morgan, Charlene Morgan, Sybil Edwards McNabb, Annie Ferguson, William Ferguson, Shelby McClendon. And we move on to our black book, because we haven't put these on a page yet. We have Joella Giles, James Carswell, Roberta Adams, also known as Aunt Sis, Elder Sharkin Pannier, Anthony Brown, Jonathan Ford, Lottie Gaucher, Cousin Tony, Michael Johnson, James Jimmy Johnson, Barbara Shane Lewis, Ronald Shelton Jr., Damian Top, Westina Banks, Joseph Bingham, Quincy, Mama, Aunt Lady, Abraham Isaac Cundall, Aunt Barbara, Lewis, Renee Johnson, Joy, Ryan Ross Riggins, Dermonte, Marcus Price, Ness Words, Marshawn McCarroll, Demetrius Beard, Herb Jepson, Ralph Mickens, Eric Walker, Quasi Sample, Candace Simmons, Severin Clayton, Leonard Jones, Sade Gardner, Melvin Scott Sr., Elder Clarence Lumpkin, Elizabeth Johnson, Frank Smith, Stacey Trice, Denisa Gore Ray, Nathaniel Hassan Turner, Khalid is in transition, Nigel Turner, shouts out to Brother Kwame, Demetrius Lewis Flint, Alberta Woods, Geneva Simmons, Daniel Tilley, Angeline Gant, Sharifa, Oscar Kane, Audrey Gripper, Dominique Nichols, Ruthie Lane Johnson, Teresa Sambu. Brother Kwame say, kind of late. I know, you're right on time. My bad. Aunt Maxine, Uncle James, Henry Monger III, Tamara Dowdy, Nicole Harris, Julia Taylor, Richard Bozeman II, Ruth Carter, John Carter, Mr. Thornton, Johanna, Desandra Lynette Lewis, Henderson Mosley, Charles Jordan, Henry Essex II, Fannie L. Webb, Dan Walton, Aulati Sue Walton, Emma Walton, James Randolph Giles, Sonny, Pete Walton, William Walton, Fred Powers, Elijah Juan Hakeem Nkomo, Alberta T. Davis, Charles Davis, Willie R. Mackey, also known as Dr. Karimi Mackey, Victor Bowden, Drusilla Kitty Berger, Lucy White, Robert Lee White, Emma Jean White, Talton, Roger White, R.L. White, Jesse White, Ruby Jewel White, Johnson Carl White, Desi Woods, Tilar Woods Lennox, Jim Woods, Lizzie Woods, Mindy, Juanita Alexander Brown, Cynthia Ann Wright. All right, family, we lift up our glass and we salute all of our ancestors. I want to make sure that nobody posted any more ancestors on the line. Nope. All right, so we raise our glass to our ancestors, and these ancestors combined, and because we read them together, they are empowering those of us that are on this path. They are looking out for those of us on this path. So as a tribe, we raise up our glass, whether in person or later on, we raise up our glass and we say, Ashe. From there, family, where do we go? Y'all know where we go. We go to this present moment because your ancestors are empowering you so that you can make changes in the present. Family, the present is where we have the power. The present is what separates us from the past and the future. The present moment is where action can be taken. The past is past tense, what they did, and future tense for our future generation, going to do. The power is in what's being done. So we have to kind of center ourselves and pull ourselves into this moment and harness the power coming from both directions, from the past and the future. Because family, we have to understand that we are generational people. Some of our ancestors will reincarnate through us in our children, through our children. So we have to prepare a place for them. And we will reincarnate in our same bloodline in our children. So we have to do what we need to do to make sure that we start shaping the world so that it can benefit us. It's just that simple. So in this moment right now, I want to salute all of the Umoja babies. Shouts out to all of the Umoja babies. For those new listeners out there, family, for those new people that checking us out on Gye-Nyame Journey, please understand that we do the days by the Nguza Saba and not by the Nordic names that have the Nordic and the Greek names that have been put on the days. We're taking our time back, just like we're taking our minds back, right? So the day for us is Umoja. All you got to do is look up the rest of Nguza Saba and you'll be able to understand how the week flow. So we got Umoja, and we're asking everybody to activate those reticular formation because we have to find our principles out there. Umoja is an action out there. We just have to find it. Don't capture it. You know what I'm saying? Don't hold on to it for yourself. Capture and release. Allow Umoja to spread throughout our people. And as we start learning how to see it, we will begin to see it more. And we will be able to see it more active in our communities. We have to activate all principles in the moment. All right, so For those that don't speak the language, unity means, Umoja means unity. The modern principle of the day is truth. Family, are you standing on truth? You know what I'm saying? Be clear on what your truth is. All right? We're going to have some further discussions on that. The color of the day is violet or this purity purple I have on. So let me go take off my hoodie right now. I got on a Cat N hoodie, Brother Kwame. Take the hoodie off so that y'all can see. We got the Daily Toaster gear right as well. Boom. You know what I'm saying? Boom. All right. Purple. I'm in line right now, so we got on our Daily Toaster gear. Cynthia Johnson, I always feel empowered, encouraged, uplifted when I hear our tribe name, list of ancestors. Give thanks. Family, listen. I just want to say this about the ancestors. You don't have to put all your ancestors. Put the ones that were most effective in your life. You understand what I'm saying? Because we don't want to be putting on people that, you know what I'm saying, we don't want to be celebrating people that might not deserve it. And this is what I mean. We don't have, hell for African is being forgotten. And we all know that we may have some ancestors, unfortunately, that may need to be forgotten. You understand what I'm saying? And I know that might sound cruel, but shit, we at war. I'm just trying to keep it. I'm trying to keep it 100 with you. I want to build with you. I want the family to grow strong. And we don't need people reincarnating that wasn't shit when it was here, that did nothing with their time. We want to be calling those back that were contributing. And for most of y'all, what y'all need to realize is that if you are conscious, you were the contribution that they made. They might have not did what Martin Luther King did or the Honorable Elijah Muhammad or Marcus Garvey or Harriet Tubman. No, they invested in you. And you owe it back to them to invest in them and to empower them so that you, as you become an elder, you'll be able to start recognizing certain ancestors that come back and be able to deal with them in such a way. Just imagine how different our families would be if we actually looked at our children as our ancestors returning. Come on now. That's power. All right. So, the color is violet. The Hermetic law is mentalism. You can study that. You can look that up for yourself. Male name for the day is Kwojo. Female name is Ajua. Truth hurts. Truth hurts, but it's necessary. I feel you. However, the energies that some of those ancestors would like to forget are the very ones, best characters we inherited. There we go. All right, and like I said, family, it ain't necessarily even. Not saying I disagree, but shit, family, throw your thoughts up there because you never know how what you may be thinking may affect somebody else out there. Family, you know what I'm saying? Boom. All I can do is lay out a path and tell you which path I'm taking. Whether you come with me or not, long as we both heading towards truth, you could take your way, I could take my way. I'll meet you at the top of the mountain of truth and be ready for battle when I get there. Just be ready for battle. I don't care. You understand what I'm saying? So once again, we want to give a round of applause to all those Umoja babies. From our past, we did our present, now we're moving into our future. So we lift up our glass for those future generations. And we want to make sure that they are equipped to handle what life brings them. We want to make sure that we are able to pass on good wisdom to them as well as the resources that they need to make the next step of the journey. We are generational people, family, which means that our progress depends on each generation handling this business. Question for you. Are you handling your business? Are you handling your family business? Are you handling are you handling your personal business? Are you handling your family business? And are you handling your tribal business? Because what happens is tribes come together and form a community. Communities come together and form a city. Cities come together and form a state. States come together, form a country. We at the beginning phases, family. So let's keep on building. So we lift up our glass to our children, letting them know we handling our business in a moment, and we can't wait to see you, family. You know what I'm saying? We lift up our glass and we salute them in advance, and we say Ashe. From there, family, where do we go? I'm going to tell you where we go real quick. We move towards all of our relations, and we toast all of our relations out there, all of them. We toast all of our relations because we related to everything in this universe. You know what I'm saying? So we salute, right? And we say Ashe. From there, family, we'll move on. And from there, where do we go? We go to that selfish toast. What is it that you need in this moment, right now, to move towards the greatest you? The you that is useful to your people. The you that can help you build your tribe or find your tribe. The you that you need right now in this moment. And we say Ashe. Last but not least, family, I want to toast the most magnificent, most beautiful, uplifting, outstanding individual. You know who that be. That be you. I lift my glass to you. I toast you and we say Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. And as we say in Gye-Nyame, we wish you peace, power, joy, and 100 years. Peace, power. I'm missing one, Kwame. Peace, power. Oh, I've got them all. Peace, power, and joy. And 100 years. And as we say in Gye-Nyame, cat in. This is our thing. So we raise the glass up and we take a sip. Oh, this is going to be a good batch. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a little bit of music right now. I'm going to play some music for you so that I can get ready for the call-ins for those that want to make a call-in. We're going to go all the way back and we're going to play, what's this one? Track 3 from an album that we produced years ago.
I'm trying to kick some knowledge, so listen to me. See, we are a community that does deeds for all of us sisters and brothers needs. And many people will be better than one, so let's all unite and get the work done, such as joining hands and working on a master plan, so all the people of the motherland will understand to be more collective and responsible than the white man, because I refuse to lose my faith and mentality. A strong black woman is what I plan to be, and I think I'm gonna make it, you see, because all I need is God, Ujima and me. Ujima and me. Ujima and me. Ujima and me. Cause all I need is God. Ujima and me. Ujima and me. Ujima and me. Ujima and me. Cause all I need is God. Ujima. Our teams are killing each other, you know it's crazy. Some of the things they do doesn't seem to amaze me. I just sit back, relax, and watch and observe. Our people are dying, so we need to emerge. Emerging the fact that you're black. I'm a Nubian sister, so step the hell back. Knowledge, I'm trying to break it down to you. And everything you do, sell a crack, it ain't cool. I come from a genius, so a genius I am. I can create, motivate, and even educate. For the one who tried to make me back into a slave. Check it out the time, there was a battle days. And if you wanna argue and act really dumb, you keep your stuff up, and we gon' never overcome. Dr. King didn't die for nothing, I suppose. So let's keep it dreaming like, cause it's what he really chose. And let's come together, so his dream could last forever and ever, in the place so that we can all be free. And all we need is God, Ujima and me. Ujima and me. Ujima and me. Ujima and me. Cause all we need is God, Ujima and me. Ujima and me. Ujima and me. Ujima and me. Cause all we need is God. Ujima. We need to come together so all of our black people can last forever and ever. Do you hear what I'm saying? You better wake up and stop the game playing and learn our story and keep learning and learning until we head for the glory. And after that we can all be free, and all we needed was God, Ujima and me. Ujima and me. Ujima and me. Ujima and me. Cause all we need is God, Ujima and me. Ujima and me. Ujima and me. Ujima and me. Cause all we need is God, Ujima and me.
That was Ujima and me. I think the sister's name was Tashin. I'm not 100% sure. If somebody got the album, that's an old album we did. It was called Afrocentric Warriors. And I've been doing the same thing for a very long time. All right, family. On to the discussion. Lines are open. I need to make sure that y'all know how to get in. So if you want to make a comment, the number is call in at 614-556-4535. Also, let me put it on. Let's put this on so that everybody get it. Let's see if it pops up on Facebook. Call in lines are open. Come on. Why you doing it to me? Why you doing this to me? Go down. Call in lines are open. We ain't got the big money here, so I can have me a production assistant, but we moving towards it. 614-556-4535. I just want to see if this goes to all of the links, and then we can start our conversation. Boom. No, it's school today, but I took off because of the conference. Yeah, it didn't pop up on Facebook. Let me go in and type it in on Facebook. Maybe it's late. 614 call-in lines open. I was when I signed up for the trip, I was how can I put it? When I signed up for the trip, I was thinking that it was going to take a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It was early and it was still planning, so I thought they was going to have Nia, Kaumba, and Imani, and then I would just be getting back on Imani. I didn't know that it was going to stay short, but I should have known that because the price of the conference was so affordable. It was ridiculous. It was only $15. Call-in lines are open. 614-556-4535. Boom. There we go. Let's see if it pops up. I don't see nothing popping up for... Okay, there you go. All right. Let's see if it's on. All right. It's up on... Okay. So Facebook don't communicate through this. They ain't even registering the Facebook watchers on my Restream.io chat. Let's see. On... I don't know. Okay. Kwame is on Facebook, so it's letting them know. All right, cool. So, family, now, so the discussion today is war for the planet of the apes. And to set it off, what I want to do is play the major scene. All right. So, for those that don't know, War of the Planet of the Apes was a 2017 prequel to the Planet of the Apes. And you had three of them. You had, maybe it's two of them before this. You had Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and then I think you got this one. I ain't see Rise of the Planet of the Apes. I ain't had nothing to do, so I said, let me watch this shit. So right off, I said, damn, I picked the right movie. Because this movie can inspire some good conversation about where we are and what has to be done, right? Hold on. So this is one of the opening scenes. So let me go and open it up for you. I'm only going to play the sound and make commentary throughout. You know what I'm saying? So that we don't have no issues on any of the platforms and shit like that. And since Spreaker can't really see, it wouldn't be fair for me to show it because I do got it on my phone. I could actually show it. But we're not. We're gonna discuss it because I don't want that type of problem, right? But here we go. So opening scene is where they had the captions and they telling you what happened in the last movie, and they talk about there being this colonel that has his own his own contingency, and they're out trying to find the apes' home base and how they are now sneaking up on it. So it's real quiet. They're very quiet, and they run into all of these apes. They find where they are holding their children and all this, right? And they immediately attack. Now, the apes appear to be losing at first because they're falling like crazy. Just falling. And one of the troopers ride off. One of the horse troopers ride off. One of the ape troopers ride off and come back with a contingency of other apes. And they start whooping this special forces team's ass with spears and bows and arrows and rocks. They whoop they ass. So now, this is the scene. Shouts out to Shelly I. This is the scene right after that. So here we go. Listen in, listen in. So at this point, the leader of the apes, oh my fault, the leader of the apes by the name of Caesar is coming up and looking at all of them. So now the army, the military has a group of apes with them that they call donkeys. I want you, please listen up. So we about to go to where Caesar starts to explain. Hold on. Because this scene was like, I was like, oh my God, hold on. So a lot of the apes in the scene also, I need to tell you, a lot of the apes are signing. So an orangutan signs to the leader Caesar that there are 63 apes dead.
You're him. You're Caesar. We've been searching for you for so long. I heard you had a hidden command base, but we could never find it. Some of us started to think that you might be dead, but Colonel McCullough said you were out here somewhere.
Just kill us already.
Shut up, man.
What? They're animals. He's gonna slaughter us.
Now, this is two of the white boys. One of the white boys is like he's amazed to see Caesar and blah 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 and blah, and the other one like, you killers, you just acting like beasts anyway. Now remember who attacked who. I'm just saying, right? It all depends on who telling the story, right? These apes is in the middle of the woods, minding their own business, doing ape shit. You know what I'm saying? Not attacking nobody. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I guess people or white people, whoever, West Asians, are angry about the ass whooping that they took in the movie previous to this, and I haven't seen that. All right? So, let's go on. This is Caesar about to talk.
I did not start this war. The ape who did is dead. His name was Koba. I killed him. Now.
So he's letting them know that he didn't start this war. He don't want this war. He's expressing this to the soldiers. All right? Now, listen. And I want y'all to listen very closely to what he say now. Hold on.
Now, I fight only to protect apes.
Yeah?
He fights only to protect apes. He's not fighting for land acquisition. He just want his people to be left alone. Right? They done extracted. A war started. He didn't start it. He finished that shit and he went to the woods. Now leave us the fuck alone. This is what he said. Leave us alone. We don't want that. We don't want them problems. We just want to raise our little monkey kids and be at peace. Hold on. This white boy responded.
What about him?
Now, the hymn that he is responding to, I'm listening through Spreaker and Incommunicato. All right. And you can't hear it clearly? Help me understand. Incommunicate. Okay. All right. I don't know whether you can hear. Hopefully y'all can hear it on Spreaker. But now, the white boy or the West Asian looks over and he nods his head over to one of the captured apes that was working with the West Asians, with humanity, to exterminate the rest of the apes. So he looks at him and he says, well, what about him? What about him? Right? Hold on. Let's go. Let's go.
Like 10 more just like him.
I know these apes. They follow Koba. They tried to kill me. They fear what I will do to them. So now, they serve you. Just to survive. I don't fear you.
So those, because y'all can't see it, we have the gorilla that is a donkey for the other side, right? So you got apes over here, you got humans over here. You got a group of apes that have betrayed the rest of the apes and joined humanity. Now, listen to what this ape says, because we gonna line this shit up. We gonna knock this one out the ballpark. Here we go.
You must fear. How long you think woods can protect you? Humans destroy you. Their colonel has all power. For them, he more than just human. Everything you say. First, Caesar died. Then all of you died.
So, Caesar allowed this ape to speak, this gorilla to speak. He spoke his mind. He said that the colonel is all powerful. And the colonel can do anything. And you dare not stand up against the colonel, because he said that once he kills you, Caesar, the monkeys will fall into line and they will exterminate all of them. He asked him, how long do you think the woods can hide you from these West Asians? Now, mind you, the monkey Caesar is minding his business. He letting them know, we don't want that smoke. We don't want no problems. We just want to live. They ain't even asking for reparations. Because, if you remember the old movies, the Planet of the Apes, the old ones, you know what I'm saying? They were dogging the shit out these apes. These apes was bred specifically to serve humanity. And they were building shit. And they was doing all types of shit. Hold on. Because there's a lot of similarities. Brother Kwame said incommunicato means I'm out of communication. Speaker is just fine. But I can't write anything more, but I'm listening. What? Spreaker don't got... I understand, but Spreaker don't got the app where you could go on and write? You usually communicate with me through Spreaker. Is it something I need to fix? Is it broke? All right, well, anyway, let's go and finish. So one of Caesar's Shelley I, one of my favorite movies, the old Planet of the Apes, 60s and 70s. So after Homeboy spoke out and got fly with Caesar, a group of the apes beat his ass, right? Which they were supposed to. You need to keep your mouth shut when grown folks are talking. When grown monkeys are talking, shut your mouth. Okay? Basically is what they was demonstrating. Now they pick him up, and there's a gorilla by the name of Winter. They call him Winter because he has a white coat. And Caesar tells Winter to take this ape, take this traitor outside and handle him. Hold on. Let's go. That's what should we do with the humans? Sign language. Most of the apes can't speak yet. Now, that's where it ends. So family, so I want to give you the basic framework for the rest of the movie. Right? So they take the traitor gorilla out to the woods, or Caesar sends a single gorilla that he think he could trust out to the woods. This single gorilla somehow allows this ape to escape. So he comes back, he reports to Caesar.
This call is being recorded.
Somebody is calling in. We got a call. Who calling in?
No, it's not somebody. It's Kwame. I was just saying that Spreaker is working fine. I can type in there if I want, but because I had to carry my phone around with me, I didn't have that ability. Nonetheless, Spreaker is fine. It's when I say I'm incommunicado, it just means that I can no longer write anymore.
Okay.
I can barely speak, as you can probably hear in my voice.
Who you been yelling at, man?
But I'm listening.
Who you been yelling at?
Man, I love you, brother. I'll talk with y'all later. Peace.
I'm just, hey, it's hard. It's hard to get Kwame to raise his voice, family. Kwame, for those that don't know, Kwame is the quiet, wise warrior, or my fault, nation builder on his way to an eldership, member of Gye-Nyame. So he kind of keeps me at bay because I got to remember how I speak and all that when I'm around him. You understand what I'm saying? So, I mean, we all need people in our lives to balance us out. He's one of those that helps me. You know what I'm saying? He helps me recognize when I'm wrong, or even when I may be right. He reminds me that it's in the delivery. Brother Hatem, is in the delivery. You understand what I'm saying? And, so shots out. We're going to give Brother Kwame a round of applause. We hope So this is a very good movie because I'm able to have this discussion with y'all, family. So now there's several different pieces of this movie. So going in, so there's one donkey. Now I will now refer to all of the apes that are working for the West Asians as donkeys, working for humanity. They are called donkeys. This is what they call them, donkey, right? Because they carry the ideas of West Asians. They carry the ideas of human society, even if it's at the detriment of their own society. They will watch these humans come in and murder the men, or the 8 men, the 8 women, and the 8 children, even though they are apes, not realizing that at the end of all the killing of the apes, they have to be killed. This is one thing that always escapes the trader. The trader does not realize that once you trade, no one can trust you. It is the responsibility of the leader that you trade to for him, after he get done using you, to put you down. Why? Because now you have betrayed your people, and if I allow you to live in some form of comfort, that sends the wrong message to my troops and to my people. Please understand, those of you that are donkeys for white supremacy, those of you that are donkeys for the Republican and the Democratic Party, those of you that are donkeys for this way of life, those of you that are carrying the banner and the weapons for this society, please understand that after they get done with us, They have to deal with you. There will be no comfort for you. There will be no survival for you. The whole reason that you are able to live in an elevated fashion right now is only because those like myself and those that's out here battling are willing to put their lives and their livelihoods on the line to discuss this type of stuff. That's the only reason. Now, so it's hard for me to watch a movie because, like I say, I write books and I understand the flow of movies and the shit that I have peeped out in the street and stuff like that. So it's kind of hard for me to watch a movie because because rule number one, when I give you assignment and you come back without the assignment complete and what you were supposed to do was undone, and we are at war, and we are in the actual field of battle, that lets me know that it's a possibility that either you are not capable of doing what I gave you, even though I vetted you. I vetted you and I have given you enough jobs to know whether or not you are slacking, because this is what you're supposed to do. I'm able to assign stuff to individuals because I know from the past that they are able to handle what I'm giving them to them. So when you come back and you come back empty-handed, you come back failed, you come back without nothing, one or two things are happening. Either in some form or fashion you have become stupider, or you think that I'm stupid. When Winter came back and that other monkey escaped, Winter's ass should have been either murdered or put under surveillance immediately. I knew that shit because he was already acting scared. As soon as they had a meeting, he let them know, we need to leave now. He disagreeing, and he rises up and he speaks all boldly to Caesar, and that lets you know right then, down. According to the Godfather movies, this motherfucker right here, because maybe the monkeys ain't see the Godfather movie. According to the Godfather movie, this motherfucker need to be sleeping with the fishes. I'm just letting y'all know. Now, so the movie progresses, and all of a sudden, Caesar, being the leader that he is, mind is running, he can't sleep. And he sees some strange green lights at the waterfall, because his crib is by the waterfall, right? Because they live in caves and shit. Basic caveman shit. And he reaches into the water and he pulls out a rope. So he goes out to see who's on patrol, and he tells the dude, bring the people back. But by the time they start taking out some of the soldiers, but by the time they come back, Caesar runs back to his bed, and this colonel slipped in and ended up killing his wife and his oldest son. His baby son was able to get away. So they thought they had killed Caesar. So the colonel calls in and says, King Kong is dead. Now get me out of here. So he reaches into the water. He grabs the rope. Boom. And they pull him up. Caesar comes out. Boom. Fight. You know, he can't reach him. Homeboy cuts the rope. Caesar survives. He comes back. He's mourning because his oldest son, who just came back with some good information, and his wife are dead. And then he asks a question about Winter, and they let him know that Winter is gone. Right then, he knew that Winter had set him up. He should have known this in advance. We need to start calling out those donkeys. You damn right. You're damn right. Those donkeys are very dangerous to us. And those wannabe donkeys, because homeboy wasn't even a donkey. He was just a wannabe donkey. He was scared. See, because it's two things that get you to side with your enemy. Money and fear. We can't win. So this dude, now Caesar should have never let that ape talk in front of all of his people. He should have had a private space where he took them and then made his decision. You understand what I'm saying? So family, when we're talking with our enemies, we don't talk in front of everybody. We talk in private. See, because this whole transparency shit, please understand that when they catch your ass, they are not going to let you address all of the people. They're not going to put your ass in trial in front of all the people and give you a free mic to say what the fuck you want. Please understand that. As a matter of fact, the free mics may be getting cut off real soon. This is why I say hook up and join us on the Black Signal so I can let you know. Because not only may my channel be at risk, but any channel that is trying to wake you up and get you to start thinking deeply about some of the signals that are being sent to you. Because what happens when an individual think that they are so much farther above you, they start sending you signals just to be funny. Because you're not intelligent enough to catch on to the signals. These movies are signals to us. Who do you think they talking about in the Planet of the Apes? Come on now. Who the fuck you think they talking about? All I want to do is protect my people. All we want is what's old. All we want is to be able to do business unencumbered by what has been placed in front of us. All we want is justice. Come on, family. Come on, family. You don't see the similarities? Now, bringing up the Amber Geiger case, right? All this forgiveness that's flowing around. Let me ask you a question. Do you think Caesar was talking about forgiveness? No, my fault. Let me go back because I want to go back to the critical piece. Something that you missed. That a lot of people missed in the movie. All right, so there's 4 West Asians that survived. They killed 63 apes. He killed the rest of the union. He kept those 4 and he sent it to the colonel. He sent it to the colonel saying, letting him know, look, we don't want no beef. This is the message. He gave them a message, and one of the apes, or the orangutan, which is his advisor, asks him in sign language, do you think they're going to deliver the message? And Caesar says they are the message. Now, he's making a critical error. And this is the same error. Error. E-R-R-O-R. Error. You know. He made the same error that our brother Hannibal Barca made. He thought that, like Hannibal thought, the reason he didn't storm the gates of Rome, because he had the manpower. Romans had been dogging people all around them and extracting taxes. He would have had people coming after him to get a piece of that Roman ass. They would have ran, they would have helped him raid the gates. Let's be honest about it, family. But he didn't. Because one of the reasons that people speculate is that he thought that because they recognized his superiority on the battlefield, that they would open the gates and surrender to him, not realizing the people that he was dealing with. No retreat, no surrender, dog. Caesar made the same mistake. He thought that him sending back these soldiers would inform this man, this colonel, who was dead set on killing every ape that he could find, man, woman, or child. Please understand. Please understand. Every last ape he wanted to kill. Didn't give a shit. This was his job. This is what he took upon himself. Understand. Let me go and get this off of the screen real quick. Understand. Right? There was no stopping him. So he sent them back 4 soldiers. Now, fast forward throughout the movie. Caesar had sent his son out. and another warrior to go and scout and find the land. They found a desert. And they were going to set up at this desert, right? Start building the ape civilization. So Caesar sends all his people off because he's going back. Unlike the Botham family or whatever, the Gene family, he ain't talking about forgiveness. He want to kill that soldier. He want to kill that man that murdered his children. Now he goes and he leaves those monkeys in charge with somebody in charge, and he gives them orders, and they leave. Right? So Caesar tracks down the soldiers and finds out that they caught his people, brought them in, and was using them in slavery. Time out. Time out. So Caesar steps back and be like, what are they building? Why are they building? Caesar wants to know, he wants to understand what's behind what they're doing. Why they got my people building a wall? So Caesar goes in, and he's reminded that he's starting to sound like Koba. And he recognizes that truth, and he tells them to leave him. He'll go on by himself. So he leaves, but his crew is so loyal, they're like, fuck it, we got to make sure he get back. This is the leader. So boom, 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 they follow him. But Caesar get caught and he brought down, he find out that all his people is down there. All his monkeys, right? His monkey crew is down there, right? Pop locking and building walls, entertaining the military and shit like that. And he is taken hostage. So now fast forward past all that, you know, the drama, boom, boom, boom. This is basically, let me tell you what this is Planet of the Apes meets Apocalypse Now. Because they got a colonel who is crazy. He's shaving his head in front of all the people. He has rituals and ceremonies that go on just like Apocalypse Now. Woody Harrelson basically got to relive or live one of his dreams of being Marlon Brando. Okay. And anyway, so they make it all the way to the end. And it ends up that the disease that's affecting all humanity, this colonel gets. And he's begging without being able to speak, he's begging for Caesar to kill him. And Caesar like, no, I ain't gonna kill you now. Reciprocity. So he leaves and he sees that all his people has escaped and they are under attack. So he tries to do something now. And I'm gonna bring this around to the lesson. Remember the 4 West Asians he let go at the beginning. One of them was a bowman. He used a gun with a bow and arrow. And this was the very dude that ended up killing Caesar. He comes down. He let this dude go. When it came time for this dude to show some mercy, didn't show no mercy at all. Shot Caesar without a hesitation. Was about to walk up and shoot him again. But luckily, Caesar had one of those donkeys that was like, nah, this don't look right. And blew him up. Just out the blue. Right? We can't expect for miracles like that to happen. All right? And then also, another miracle at the end was that an avalanche came through and killed the rest of the military, so the monkeys was free to move on. So you had the acts of God and luck in this motherfucker. So the only way y'all gonna win is through God and luck. That's what they trying to tell you, by the way. Anyway, so, but Caesar should have eliminated those 4 at the beginning. He should have, after homeboy spoke, he should have set an example for that monkey right there. You know what I'm saying? In front of all his people. Because he allowed him to speak out in front of all his people. So he need to reconfirm his power to his people. His abilities to his people. His confidence to his people. Because it was his lack of action that helped push Winter into the situation that he was in. Because he was already acting fearful. You can tell, a big old white gorilla shaking and shit. What the fuck? He was a gorilla. What is you doing? Right? But anyway. Now, is there any call-ins? Anybody got anything they want to say about the movie? Now, what does this have to do with us? Family, we have mules or donkeys. And this is what's so crazy about it. The donkeys, right? How many of us are working against our own interests? When it comes to reparation, how many of us is working towards our own, working against our interests? When it comes to education, how many of us are working against our own best interest? When it comes to politics, how many of us are working against our best interests? How many donkeys do we have? Beast of burdens for white supremacy. That's all a donkey is. A donkey is a beast of burden. And the question I have to ask, how many beast of burdens do we have? Because you got some that are willing, and those are the most dangerous ones because they will sell their mama. Because it's all about the bag. Family, I keep telling y'all, here at The Journey, we are very aware of motherfuckers that's constantly talking about the bag. You can't fuck with us if that's your main interest. If it's all about the bag, you can't work with us. Because the bag means that money is your God. And you're going to go with whatever direction your God is coming from. That's what you're going to focus on. Family, we got to be about our people. See, and we understand, and this is what we got to understand, by us truly learning to love ourselves, the love will spill over into other places, into other people, in a way that we have not seen before. See, because I got to ask you a question. Can you go to war out of love? Can you fight a war with love? Can you fight a battle with love? Have there ever been any warriors in history that fought a battle out of love? Have you ever been in a fight because of love? Because I'm just thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? My whole life, I've been fighting for individuals that was weaker than me, whether I'm doing shit like this or whether they're actually out in the streets. As a matter of fact, I was sent out of Akron, Ohio, because my grandmother demanded that my mama come and get me as soon as I graduate. She wouldn't even let me stay the summer because she said, I will not bury you because you like going out here and fighting for other people. You're not fighting for yourself. You getting in the street fights and street brawls and getting cut and coming into my house. You're going to end up getting killed or get somebody killed around you because you're not taking care of you. You're looking out for others. So she sent my ass away. She said, if you're going to be buried, let your mama bury you. Because I already seen what you doing, where it's going to take you. And I wasn't mad. I was sad. I understood. Grandma, your wish is my command, whatever. I couldn't, even if I wanted to stay, I couldn't stay. But please understand, family. Please understand. When I got into those fights, it was out of love. I could not stand to see a motherfucking bully pick on somebody. I would prefer a bully to pick on me than to pick on somebody weaker than them. I couldn't stand that shit. And I still can't stand it. And I see it happening to us every day. And some of us just submit to the shit. Bullying. And I would get in the fight out of love. That's not just. What you're doing to this dude is unjust. Why don't you pick on somebody that's closer to you? Why don't you, you know what I'm saying? You can fuck with me and won't even bother me. But we're going to come to blows if you keep fucking with this dude. Fuck you. All right, cool. It is what it is. Let's do it now. Now I got righteous indignation. Dude, you're not going to keep on fucking with him. Or her. I don't like that shit. Out of love. The best warriors are bred and fight out of love rather than a hate. See, because we always we take love, and love is cotton candy and fluffy clouds and rainbows and shit. But love is filled with blood and guts as well. Love. I only fight to protect my own, is what he said in that movie. It's what he said in that movie. The apes had learned to define their reality. And they put a border around it, and they was ready to fight to protect those borders. And what bothers me is that in the movie, even though I know it's a movie, the apes knew that they had to protect what was theirs. They wasn't just randomly forgiving motherfuckers. They wasn't just giving up. Most of them. They fought. They fought for what was theirs. We want you to leave us alone. And if us maintaining our peace mean that I got to take you up out of here, this is what the fuck I'm going to do. But a lot of us are not really, we're not with that. So when we visualize and we work, we don't realize that we are on the battlefield. So I hate my job, but I miss the possibility because out of my hate, I miss the possibility of what I can do for my people. I love what I've been blessed to do because I'm able to work for my people. And I will be able to do that whether I was at McDonald's or at Children's Hospital. It makes no difference. When you have a love, regardless of what you do, it can reflect. Your love reflects through that, and you are able to work and get information. If you could do nothing but get information for your people, that's what you're supposed to do. How are we going to let monkeys in a movie outdo us? We're just willing donkeys. Donkeys also equate with Democrats. Sitting up here like, damn, they got donkey written across this motherfucker's back. Not to mention that the very disease that made the monkey smart and was making humans lose the ability to talk was created by them, by the humans. Come on, family. Stop carrying other people's water. Carry some water for your people. Be a beast of burden for your people, and stop being a beast of burden for others. Because they don't have you. People don't have your best interests at heart. Not when it interferes with their best interest. We honestly believe that a lot of these educational pieces are being set in place to make us better. Better for who? Better for who? We have certain needs in our communities. And every last young person that is going through a school where it is a majority black need to be trained and focused on solving the problems that are in our community. That's called real nation building. That's called real rites of passage. The history they need to be getting is not the history that everybody else is getting, even though you can add a little bit of that because it's good to know who you're dealing with, but they also need to have the history of their area. They also need to understand their role in the development of that area. They also need to know their role as a group in the past in that area and throughout history. And I'm not just, because a lot of us, we jump all the way over what our ancestors did here, and we move so quickly to talk about the Kemites, talk about the Moors, to talk about what happened ancient time. But what happened here? Take some pictures, and I want y'all to look, because family, and I'm going to stick on this until somebody come on here and shut me down with this. They only want you to focus on Black Wall Street when Black Wall Street was a common phenomenon. I will argue that, because I have seen pictures of Mount Vernon. I've seen pictures of Mount Vernon. How many of y'all have looked into the records of the city where you are in and seen where that black part of town was, and see how your people was living before the expressways? No, we want to jump all the way back. We don't want to look at the resilience of our people, the creativity of our people over here the foundational, as they call them, the foundational black people who basically laid the foundation for everything that we are standing on and everything that we are using now. And many of us want to turn tail and run, but nobody's accepting us because you don't come with no wealth. How can you not realize, my Pan-African brothers and sisters, my Moorish brothers and sisters, my Hebrew Israelite brothers and sisters, how can you not realize that one of the major reasons that you are not being able to go to Israel or go and visit Spain or go into to certain places in Africa, West Africa, East Africa, Central Africa, is because you don't got enough money. And you don't have enough money because wealth has not been passed down to you. And why hasn't wealth been passed down to you? Because they destroyed all the wealth and they have siphoned it from your people since 1870 something. Slowly but surely, they've been killing us by 1,000 cuts. And for those that don't know, that was an ancient torture where they would just inflict small cuts on the victim, until eventually these small cuts will add up to that individual dying. They would not cut you in a vital place. They would just do small cuts and let you die by 1,000 cuts. And it will be a long and tedious process. We don't realize that politically and economically we are dying by 1,000 cuts. And we fantasizing about other places rather than looking at the pyramids we built here. And I ain't talking about ancient times. I'm talking about the Herculean task of, even with redlining, being able to create a vibrant and prosperous community that it took the federal government to step in and destroy. That's why the expressway runs through Mount Vernon. It's crazy. You don't understand. You don't see how Mount Vernon is cut off. And every last one of you out there, I challenge you to go into your city and look where the expressway was and start doing the research on that area. I'm guaranteeing you that you will find that there was a vibrant black community there. And the only way that they were able to destroy it was by the aid of the federal government. And all we are demanding is that the federal government repair what they allowed to happen to us. How was that demanding too much? Grew up in Maryland. All black communities didn't receive streets or street lights until 1970, 5 miles from D.C. Come on, family. That's the only thing, that's the only argument that they're raising. And all I'm saying is we need to prepare ourselves in many ways. Because the Romans, because a lot of that mythology has passed on. The Romans, victory or death. That's how they deal with it. Victory or death. You know what I'm saying? We could pray that in politics it'd be a little bit different. I don't know. But family, we have enough people in some of these metropolises where we could actually take over the political process in those cities. Operation Takeover. It's alive and well here in Columbus. Is it alive and well where you are? I would suggest that every last one of you go and get the stream for the ADOS conference and listen to Yvette's hold on, I got it. Where is it at? I got it here somewhere. It's because on agenda is where she talks about Project Takeover. You can look it up because agenda should be there. And it's somewhere in the afternoon where she start talking about Project Takeover and really start listening to what she's talking about, family. Because we could run some of these cities. In some cases we are, except we got donkeys running them. So let's just get the donkeys out the way and let's go on and take over. All right, family, look, I'm about to go because I got to go. Damn, it's almost 2 o'clock. I got to go. I got a lot of work to do. I want to thank all those that took the time to call in. I want to thank all those new subscribers. You know what I'm saying? Keep up with the comments because that gets you points. And when the first person reaches 1,000, you got a Daily Toaster shirt coming out. Also, we will be giving away other stuff. All you got to do is sign up for, somebody out there. I'm ready. Project Takeover. Join the Black Signal. Text G&J to 25456 so that you know when we up. It's on your part too. Oh, okay. Hey, family gone. Hey, now, but I'm suggesting that you go and invest in the ADOS and actually go and get it. If you got $9.99, if you got the money, that's a nice investment, and you're gonna have a cleaner copy. Because I think the one that's on YouTube, I thought I cut the goddamn thing off, but it was still recording. That's why you keep on seeing my goddamn feet, because I'm confused as fuck when I say, what is this up here? But anyway, all right, family. This is Brother Hot Tim. I want to thank you. First off, I want to let you know that you have now joined the congregation of the mighty, the home of the stubborn minority, the place where your hustle build muscle. This is Gye-Nyame Journey Media. Come on, a little bit louder now. Come on, man. Also, family, here we go. This is a Heart of a Simple production, and this has been another daily toast and a rare Umoja Toast and Talk. And this is a Heart of a Simple production. We strive to blow up your old paradigms. Peace out.